Welcome to Forex Daybreak, a daily podcast where we cover 8 Forex pairs and give you our view on the market direction for these pairs. If you are trading Forex market, this is the #1 show to start your trading day. Now, let's begin today's episode.
Good morning everybody and welcome to Forex Daybreak episode 15. In this daily Forex update, I will give my view on 8 Forex pairs I analyze using Elliott wave principle. My name is Ville Vainio and today is 27th of August 2015. Show notes for this episode can be found at forexdaybreak.com/15. This podcast is recorded also as video and this is available at forexdaybreak.com. Okay, now let's get started. And let's move right on to first pair, which is EURUSD. And the decline here has continued. We are now at 113.25. And my wave count is proposing that this is the start of the final larger down wave, a 5-way structure to the downside, eventually making new lows. We are at the starting stages of this wave, but as of now this is still a 3-wave structure and has not been confirmed that this is indeed a larger turn down. If this continues the decline and reaches 112 levels, then this is looking more and more certain that indeed the wave count I have is correct and we are starting a larger wave down, have ended this large correction which has occupied EURUSD for weeks and weeks. So I have labeled the latest high, which was on Monday and is at 117.12. So that peak would be the end of this large correction, and the recent down move is the start of larger wave down. Key levels on EURUSD are that 114.35 is the resistance on the upside. This is minute wave B peak on the triangle, which was the wave X triangle seen on the daily and 4-hour charts. Those who view this analysis as a video podcast, this is evident for you audio podcasters. And on the downside, 112.88, and this smaller B wave peak, and if I remember correctly, that was the day that the Greek crisis were on its worst or best, or how would you put it. There was a big gap then on the market, and at the start of trading on Monday this gap was closed, and this is what is that peak and our next support level on the downside. I wouldn't trade this yet. I know I have been saying this for days now, but until this is confirmed on the downside, I wouldn't go short, and until this is unconfirmed on the downside, I wouldn't go long. So this 112 level is quite important right now to keep in mind. If we do not penetrate to this area and the decline does not continue, then we are looking at a correction on the way up, and possibly my wave count needs to be revised. If the decline continues and we reach 112 and below that, then I would look for a trading opportunity to the downside, because then it's more evident that we are starting or have started a larger wave down. Okay, next move, let's move to dollar yen, and more or less sideways price action still on dollar yen. 120, 195 is the price right now. We are reaching the upper high, the highs of this sideways correction. On my wave count, this is minuet wave 4 corrective move, and I am still on the favor of the downside, and I am looking for more pressure to the downside when we finish this correction. Key levels on dollar yen are actually the same levels than yesterday. We haven't made much progress since yesterday. So 120.4 would be the resistance quite near, which is the minute wave 1 low, and on the downside 118.23 would be the support level next. This can be possibly trade to the downside, but if there's correlation and I'm looking for dollar strength, then we might get more upside on this pair, so maybe slightly risky to go short on this as of now. This should form a five-way structure in any case. Even if this is not an impulsive wave down, this should still make a five-way structure to be a corrective wave C. So perhaps there will be one more wave down, whatever the case. But if you are trading, make sure you look for an impulsive wave down. If you are going short on this, look for five-way structure to the downside on a small time frame chart and look for entry point there. Next is pound dollar, and finally we have seen some motion here, the quite powerful downwards move yesterday, and actually from the highs to the lows is over 300 pips, so quite a big move. And yesterday I talked about this triangle scenario and this wave count not being satisfactory. I have now labeled this again, revised the wave count, and I am now proposing that we are more or less started a larger wave down. The recent peak would be minute wave 2, and this decline we saw yesterday is the start of minute wave 3 to the downside. So there can be good trading opportunity here to go short on pound dollar. And again, look for three-wave pullback on the small time frame and go short on this pair. Key levels on pound dollar 155.35 upside resistance. So perhaps this will be one level to watch for if you are going short on this, and perhaps gives a good level to put your stop loss or reverse order. 154.2 is a support on the downside next. So let's see if we make a slight correction here, or if this is going to go down more and give us a nice five-way structure to the downside, and a larger move down has indeed started. Okay, next is euro pound, more or less sideways price action here. I have labeled waves 3 and 4 from the latest high to the recent low, and now we are 0.7308 is the price right now. and making more or less sideways correction here. Key levels here, downside support around 0.7256, the recent few peaks. This is the same story than yesterday, and on the upside 0.738. This is a strong resistance area, so same levels than yesterday. Nothing has changed here. I wouldn't trade this right now. This is too unclear to say if we are going to make one more wave up, or if this is already completed the larger correction. My wave count is proposing that we should need one more wave up before larger reversal. Euro yen next, slightly downwards has moved euro yen, and this is more or less in line with the new revised count, which is proposing more downside as minor wave C will form. Key levels on euro yen, 136.42 is the immediate resistance on the upside, 135 psychological level on the downside is our next support level. I am expecting more downside, but slightly unclear at this point if this is correct. Pound yen is next. Pound yen has declined and we are now 186.245 and coming up to a small resistance area. I'm expecting more downside. I have labeled waves 1 and 2 from the high as completed, and if the powerful decline was wave 1, then wave 3 should be at least as powerful, so we should get more downside on pound yen. Key levels here are that 187.34 is the next immediate resistance, and on the downside 185 psychological level is the next support level, and this is also the previous minor wave 1 low, so this has been a support level before. Those are the levels to watch for, and this recent decline is still in 3 waves, so perhaps we are still forming a minor wave 2 correction. So be careful if you are going short on pound yen. Next is euro Canadian dollar. The decline has continued here. I have labeled the latest peak as intermediate wave 2 peak, so quite large degree high has been made according to my wave count, and this now proposes that we have started a larger intermediate wave 3 decline. If this is correct, we should get months and months of bear market in this pair. So let's see how it develops. Key levels at this point are 150.89 immediate resistance and support 150 psychological level. Those are the levels to watch for. This can be traded to the downside, but I wouldn't necessarily do that just yet. I would look for a 5-wave structure on at least 1-hour chart or even 4-hour chart to get a clearer picture if we have turned down and will continue further down. And finally is the US dollar Canadian, which has declined slightly. I have labeled the latest peak, the new high, as minute wave B of minute wave 4, which looks like now is forming an expanded flat correction. This would mean that we are declining towards the recent wave A low, which is at 129.495, and then even lower than that, so towards the previous 4th wave low, which is at 128.59. 128.6. Price now 132.74, and I'm looking for a decline towards those levels mentioned previously. Key levels here are that next support on the downside is the minute wave 3 peak at 132.12. The recent high 133.5 is resistance level, and I am looking for this to go 128.6 level eventually to complete this minute wave 4 correction. So perhaps there is a good opportunity to go short on US dollar Canadian to trade this remaining decline and then wait for the next turn up, since we should get one more larger wave higher after we have completed this correction. Okay, that's it for today's episode. Visit the show notes at ForexDayBreak.com/15 and you can leave your comments on that page if you have any. Thanks for listening, and now go make some profits. I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Thanks for your interest in Forex Daybreak Daily Podcast. If you like this show, we hope you'll visit our website, www.ForexDayBreak.com, and tell your friends about us. Be sure to check the show notes on our website for this episode. Join us next time for another episode of Forex Daybreak.